Hey everyone, have you been hunting for a super telephoto lens that actually fits in your bag without breaking the bank? I know I was, until I got my hands on the Tamron 150-500mm for Nikon Z mount. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I have to say, I was blown away by just how compact this lens is. As a wildlife and sports photographer, I'm always on the lookout for gear that can deliver top-notch image quality without weighing me down. And let me tell you, this thing is way smaller than I expected for a 500mm reach. I've used 400mm primes that felt like they were made of lead, but Tamron somehow kept this under 2.5 pounds. That makes a huge difference when you're hiking or just trying to keep your shoulder from screaming after a long shoot. I mean, think about it, with a lens this light, you can easily toss it into your backpack or sling bag and still have room for all your other essentials. And when you're out in the field, that extra mobility can be a total game changer. Whether you're tracking a coyote across an open field or trying to get up close and personal with a bird's nest, this lens gives you the freedom to move and shoot without feeling like you're lugging around a heavy burden. Now, let's talk about image quality. I was a bit skeptical at first, I won't lie. I mean, this is a sub-$2000 lens we're talking about, after all. But I was seriously impressed by the results I got from this lens. I tested it at 500mm in harsh midday light, and the BBR G2 coating cut flare almost completely. Colors stayed punchy, and fine details like bird feathers or distant stadium numbers held up even when I pushed the shadows in post. It's not a $12,000 super tele, but for everyday wildlife or sports, it's more than enough. I also loved the way this lens handled contrasty scenes. I shot a series of images at a local park, with the sun shining down through the trees and casting deep shadows on the forest floor. And even in those tough conditions, the Tamron 150-500mm delivered images that were rich and detailed, with great depth and dimension. Of course, you can always tweak the images in post to get them looking just the way you want, but it's nice to know that the lens is capable of capturing a wide range of tones and colors right out of the gate. Autofocus is where this lens really surprised me, though. Tamron's VXD linear motor is fast and quiet, and the VC vibration compensation gave me sharp handheld shots at 1/60th that I could never have pulled off with my old 70-300mm. I was able to track a coyote running across an open field without switching to a tripod, something I'd normally reserve for a 300mm f/2.8. The autofocus is so good, in fact, that I found myself relying on it more and more as I shot with the lens. And that's a great feeling, knowing that you can trust your gear to deliver the goods even in tough shooting conditions. Build quality feels solid too. The fluorine coating on the front element wipes clean with one pass, and the moisture-resistant gaskets kept condensation out even when I moved from an air-conditioned car into humid marshland. The included lens hood is deep enough to block stray light without adding bulk, which is a nice touch. And the lens itself feels sturdy and well-built, with a nice balance of plastic and metal components that give it a premium feel without the premium price tag. I also love the zoom ring. It's wide, rubberized, and has just the right amount of resistance, no accidental zooms when you're hiking, yet smooth enough for quick adjustments. The tripod collar is Arca-Swiss compatible, so it locks onto my gimbal head without any adapter fuss. And the lens itself is nicely balanced, making it easy to handhold or shoot from a tripod without feeling like you're fighting the weight or bulk of the lens. One small thing to note, at 500mm and f/6.7 the viewfinder can get pretty dim in low light. I ended up bumping ISO a stop or two more than I would with a faster prime, but that's the trade-off for the reach and weight savings. It's not a deal breaker by any means, but it's something to keep in mind if you're planning on shooting in low light conditions. Another quirk is that the lens extends about an inch when you zoom from 150 to 500mm. It's not a deal breaker, but I do keep a rain sleeve in my bag just in case I forget to close it up after a session. And while we're on the topic of quirks, I should mention that the lens does have a bit of a wobble when it's fully extended. It's not a big deal, but it can be a bit disconcerting if you're not used to it. Overall, this lens punches well above its weight. So if you want to see more samples or grab one for yourself, check the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.